Hello and welcome to the Social AgTech Podcast, the place to be for those interested in shaping a more food secure future for our planet. Whether you're looking to learn more about hunger, find out how exactly you can make a difference, or support and learn from the innovators already making massive strides in this field, we're going to be covering the topics for you. Following our first few episodes discussing just how severe a problem hunger is, the challenges that we need to overcome to have a hope of eradicating it, and some of the great innovative ways new startups and projects are tackling the issue, we are extremely excited to kick off the first of many episodes focused around hearing from those playing an active role in reducing hunger in their communities. From startups and community clubs to charities and those supporting the development through funding and mentorship.
Yeah, cheers, Owen. And what a way to kickstart this next series with our esteemed guest, someone I'm very happy to be speaking to again, from Vijana Twaweza Club. So this is a remarkable refugee-led initiative, farming project in Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya, and it's made significant strides in improving food security for the camp's residents and stands as a testament to the power of community-driven solutions in addressing global challenges. So let's delve a little bit into your story, and then first off, welcome, Luundo. Do you want to take a few moments to introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. Hello, guys. I'm Luundo, Congolese by nationality from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I'm living in Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya. Here you can see the building behind me. I'm in Nakuru City. I wish I could be in Kakuma so that you can see the background of Kakuma, how Kakuma look like. But I got an invitation from the World Food Program and Mastercard Foundation to attend the youth conference in Nakuru. So I've just finished today and I'm in my way back to Kakuma Refugee Camp. So I'm also the founder of Vijana Twaweza Club, and I hope I will talk much more about it.
Cheers, Luundo. And maybe just for a little bit of background context, I'm particularly happy today because I came across DMRC and Vijana Twaweza Club a few years ago while working with WFP in Kenya, and I think everyone at WFP at the time was very inspired and kind of impressed with how much work had been done and how the community had organized and the work you've all been doing. So I've checked back in sporadically, but it's also a time for me to catch back up and hear more about the wonderful work. And I'm really happy to hear that you're still working with WFP. How did the conference or conversation go with WFP and Mastercard Foundation?
Yeah, it was a very nice conversation. There is a program named Kijana in Kilimo Biz, which is run by the World Food Program Kenya and supported by the Mastercard Foundation. So this project is targeting a number of youth to get employment in Kenya. And it is including many counties in Kenya. And as Vijana Twaweza from Kakuma, from Turkana County, were also involved in that program where we did some online trainings and we did some field visits. The idea is really to see, for example, how this Vijana Twaweza, how the activities that we are doing in Vijana Twaweza will assist, the youth to get a job, especially the female. So we were there, we meet youth from different places, and it was very, very amazing to learn from each other because there we used to collaborate, we used to cooperate, where you can see an idea carried out by one of the youth, maybe in Marsabit County or another county, and you try to see how you can also implement the same system to Kakuma Refugee Camp so that at least you attract a lot of youth, they got also employment. So it's all about youth to create employment for other youth. So we are among the FSCs. FSCs means Farmer Service Center. So I'm Farmer Service Center from Kakuma Refugee Camp, and the role of Farmer Service Center is when after you visit those other youth and you see what they're doing, for you now as a Farmer Service Center, how are you going to use that knowledge to implement in your program if possible, and to see how it could employ a big number of the youth. So that's it's all about it. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're continuing to kind of pioneer and inspire other organizations across Kenya. And I think maybe it would be good to take a step back and just, how did we get here? What was the inception? What was the genesis of Vijana Twaweza? And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the journey from there to this wonderful place you are right now?
Yeah, first of all, as I said, I'm from the DRC, and it is a country which is disturbed by a lot of political issues, instability, and so many other things. So I was not able to continue staying there, and because of my tribes. So there are some issues now which are involved in tribes conflicts, social conflict in the DRC, and we decided to leave from DRC and to come here in Kenya. I arrived in Kenya in 2016. While in DRC, I was a student already. I was joining my first year at the university, but I was not able to proceed with my studies. So I came in Kenya, and when I came in Kenya, it was very, very challenging for us and my brothers to join the university because of, in Kakuma, opportunity for people to go to university are not much. We have some humanitarian organizations which are supporting refugees in terms of scholarship. But when I arrived in 2016, I was not a refugee. I was still a asylum seeker. And my status of refugees, I got it just last year. It was in December last year. I just got my legal document that recognized that I'm now officially recognized as refugees in Kenya. So all the time as I was asylum seekers, I didn't have that chance to proceed with my studies. So when I came to the camp, I started to think about what will happen if I stay in Kakuma Refugee Camp without continuing my education. I started to think maybe someone can do poultry farming. Then after that, you start to sell the chicken to the community and you get some money to go to university. We tried with my brothers, but it was very, very difficult. And then another issue is that when I came, I realized that all refugees were depending on, the amount of food that they were receiving from the World Food Program. So at the end of each month, we were receiving an amount of food from the World Food Program, which was, not much sufficient the household in Kakuma, but also, you don't have choice where you receive only a specific type of food with a little cash where you can try to maybe buy other products. But it was also challenging for those people to get food because, the Kakuma Refugee Camp is a dry area. It's a dry area where even to get sometimes vegetables is an issue. I come and I realized that people were, interesting to eat fish, but the fish that they were eating, they were coming from the Electrocana, which is very, very far away again from Kakuma Refugee Camp. So, the system of handling, and also because it was very far from the lake, sometimes you can get the fish already in a very bad condition, but people are still eating it because they don't have any choice. And, if you read many reports, especially the report from IRC, International Rescue Committee, I think IRC, you can see them mostly talking about malnutrition, how it's affecting children under the age of 5 years. They are talking about anemia, how it affects women of pregnancy. So I started to realize that if I could come up with this project of fish farming, it's something that could assist me to contribute, to create food for the community, but also to assist me also get something after assisting people with the fish. So I was just watering some trees around the church where I was prayed. Then when I went to take one watering can of water, I got one fish inside because, in Kakuma Refugee Camp, we have a laga. Laga, it's a seasonal river which get water when it's rain. But also, even though we don't have rains, but sometimes it's raining in Kakuma. So in those stagnant water, you can find some fish, especially the mudfish. So I got one fish, and from that one fish, I went back home and I started to create a small fish pond of 2 meters by 2, and I started to farm that one fish. And I was struggling to think where will I get other fish, because that time I didn't have even any skills about fish farming. I didn't have. So when some of friends in the community start to realize that this guy has a fish, so when those guys were the players of football, it was just young people. I think they had that time they had 15 14 to 15, 16 years. So when they were going to play football, they started to catch some fish in that season in the lager and coming to sell those fish to me. So at the end of the month, I just come and realize that I have a big number of fish. And then I was not able to continue paying them. So I said, okay, you may stop. Already the number I have, it's sufficient for. First started the day's work of fish farming. Then I went to Don Bosco for a short training of 6 months about agriculture and fish farming. From then I started to learn now what is fish, the type of fish, tilapia. Even I was not knowing that I was having tilapia that time. So I started to know, okay, this is tilapia, this is mudfish. And then from there, that was now 2017. And when it reached 2018, I started to think about how to make it to become an organization, to involve other youth so that we work together to support our community. So I call those guys once they reach 18 years. I tell them, you are the one who supplied me fish. I want us to create a group because they were footballers. That's why we call ourselves from Vijana Twaweza Club. I wanted also to promote them. So it started like a team of football. Then we go to fish, and now this is what we are doing.
That's such an incredible story. So you set up Vijana Twaweza Club, or VTC for short, a number of years ago now in Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya. And do you mind just telling me a bit more about the refugee camp itself and your setup there, and what exactly VTC does there?
Okay, Kakuma Refugee Camp, it is a big camp in Turkana County. And in Turkana County, we have Kakuma Refugee Camp, which is divided into 4 camps. And also we have Kalobei settlement. The 2 camps much similar because they have refugees from the same countries. Like we have almost refugees from maybe 22 countries. We have the refugees from South Sudan, Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, Somalia, Ethiopia, Burundi. Also, we have very many of us. We are here. And, the majority in the camp are the youth. And what happened most of the time is that the issue of unemployment is very, very high. Many youth are involved in issues of drugs. Some of the youth are going to school because school is free of charge. But once you finish the secondary studies, there is a little opportunity for some students to go to the university. So the rest, you just stay in the camp, where you can see some of them will try to become motorcyclists. Some of them will try to do other activities because, there is a little chance from people to go outside. But also there is a system of resettlement where some refugees are resettled outside Africa. But, this do not benefit all refugees. And, there is a big number of refugees. So for us, when we come with this issue of Vijana Twaweza, this project of Vijana Twaweza, this group is that we try also to attract some youth also to work with us. So we learn together. And through those opportunities, we are able to make something good. For example, we started 40 members. And for now we are 23. The number is decreasing just because some of our friends got scholarship. Some of our friends, they're outside the camp. There are many people who want to come and to join us. But we come and realize when we are also many, it is also difficult, to manage our activities, to manage our work, So things are very, very challenging. And you see it is an organization. Once one of your members may made a mistake, we never know. Maybe you can travel without a legal document, because even for us to travel, we should receive authorization from the county government. So when we get all those issues, and he's saying that I'm a member of this organization, then the organization also we have a problem. So there are many issues. And what's Vijana Twaweza, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to train the community. We are trying to train the members of Vijana Twaweza. There are people who didn't know anything about fish farming, myself and all the members, but at least people are learning through what we are doing. And also we got a chance at least to go away from the camp. We went in Machakos, we went in Kitale to do fish farming, trainings for 5 days. For now we are training women in poultry farm. Oh, we will have to talk all about those things as we are continuing. So at least it is assisting a little bit people in the camp, and it is not only the only group that is working in the camp. We still also have other CBOs, where some of them we are collaborating with them. Some of them are doing issues related to education. Others are in food security. So there are at least some CBOs in the camp which are working to support at least the youth and the refugees in the camp. So it's a very big camp, and there's no opportunity for education. Many people are not well educated. So there are very, very many issues, but at least through this organization that you are creating, we are also seeing some changes, and also humanitarian organizations also are doing their part. Yeah, they're also working their parts, and also things are going a little bit good.
Thank you. It's really great to hear more about the background to what you do and how you've got to where you are. It's really so inspiring how you've managed to get to where you are today.
Yeah, I'm kind of remembering back to the Fishing in the Desert project, and yeah, and this is at the time I remember the training. So this is like principal notion, exactly like you were just saying, Luundo. There's a community that was a huge community relying on dried, imported, poor quality fish if they're able to access fish whatsoever. And we have theoretically Luundo's brought aquaponics and kind of low-tech solutions, but to be able to remedy that by providing fresh fish and through insect farming and whatnot to the community. But yeah, it sounds like it was a very almost quite organic, right? Like I didn't actually know that inception story that you just found a fish while watering and thought, why not? But I guess for you personally, what was in each step? Did you have a sense of kind of the end goal, or were you just very much organically going along with, hey, I see an opportunity right here, let me seize it? And kind of maybe what advice would you have for someone else who has these little moments of inspiration and maybe doesn't seize them in the same way you have?
The idea of fishing in the desert was that we provide fish to the children with malnutrition and also to the pregnant women. But at least once we have these children on board, we teach them different activities. It's make us have a close connection with their parents. So besides fishing in the desert, we do also another project called Samaki Rice. Samaki, which means fish again. But Samaki Rice, it's a project that assists us to bring to the camp other species that we can't farm, especially like Nile perch and just there are fishes that we can only get in Lake Turkana, and we can't farm them because they are big, and we don't have even skills on how to do with them. So fishing in the desert as well, which also has in fishing in the desert, we have the cricket farming. I think you can remember we have the cricket farming, we have the black soldier fly farming, we have crops production, all that. So fishing in the desert is a project that we, even when we are talking, we use that project too much. It's because we started with it, and it's a project which creates a lot of impact, and a project which supports other projects, especially like Sport for Peace. The man that we're using to run Sport for Peace come from, the Fishing in the Desert project. And now we are doing now poultry farming as well, where we train 15 women. We started with 15 women. We give them training on poultry farming. And then after that, each woman will graduate with 10 chicken. So the idea is that we support them to get food, but also we are going to buy the eggs. Once the chicken are laying their eggs, we will be buying the eggs from them, so that we have eggs to continue with the training. Or again, when they can bring their eggs to our incubators, we hatch for them and we give back to them. So all these activities we are just doing, to support the community, but also ourselves, especially when you do a great work to the community, you are also, you receive a lot of support from the community. They protect you. They also support you,
Well, to me, it sounds like you do everything. I mean, you started with fish farming, but in the last 5 minutes, I've heard probably 7 or 8 different things that you do, from black soldier fly farming to aquaponics to cricket farming, chickens, and obviously eggs. So I mean, you really do a lot. And it's really grown massively from just that one fish which you started farming all those years ago, which is just such an incredible story. Now, you mentioned that you've received a lot of support from the community around you. What impact have you found that the work of Vijana Twaweza Club has actually had on the community?
One of the biggest support we get from the community is that, first of all, in Kakuma Refugee Camp, water is very, very scarce. And, when you do this project of fish farming, crops production, you need much water. So what we're doing, we went to a community farm shows from South Sudan, and they were a community tap. There's an UNHCR used to create some community tap where people can come from a community to take water from there. So that was one of our first support, because that mom had a big land compared to us, where we tried to expand a little bit our pond. At least we started with one pond of 2 meters by 2, but at least there we did I think it was 5 by 4. So that was one of the first support, the initial support we get from the community, and we started to produce from there. But what happens is that when we harvest our fish and we want maybe to bring them to the market, it was very challenging to bring them out of that community, because everyone wanted to come and take fish. While the fish, you need the fingerlings, you need to feed them again. From there, we went to Jesuit Refugee Service, which is a humanitarian organization working in the camp. We approached them, we showed them the data that we have, and they gave us access to land. They tell us, we have our compound here. This is a big land. Please come and do activities here. So we went there and we started our activities. Again, they gave us a support. They gave us a support of 5,000, I think it was 4,000 euro. From that support, we built a big pond, which we have now, and now we started our activities. So, the support started from the community. And that's why also it is very smart when we are also doing our activities, we also involve the community. So we are doing some part in the business, because, those youth need a little money. They need a little, at least they get something from the project. But also another end, we are also doing, free of charge training, like the training now of chicken. They don't pay anything, but you are the one providing the chicken, you are the one providing the feeds, But at least it's okay, because we receive support from them, and also we are returning back what we receive from the community. And to be honest, it gives us a lot of how do you say? It gives us a lot of connection as well, and also they support us a lot. So it is a point that we do for the community benefits, but also for ourselves also to get at least a little bit.
Can you tell us a little bit more, please, about just the actual kind of the outputs, like what kind of production you're able to output currently? And then maybe also just to reflect for a moment on, what are some of the facets you're most proud of, or that have been the most kind of surprising to you along this journey as well?
What I can say now is that, first of all, I'm very, very happy to see, a number of youth like me to do something great to their community. Now 29 years old, and I'm going to reach 30. If Vijana Twaweza means youth weekend, very soon I'm going to leave the group, but at least, those young people I started with them will also continue with the activities. So I'm very, very happy about that. And another thing is that things are very challenging, because, Kakuma Refugee Camp is very, very disconnected to other parts of Kenya. While you can see, to get fish feed can be a big challenge, but at least the numerous projects that we are having, they are supporting each other, and from there we are getting at least a good output. For example, I want first of all to talk about the training, for example, the skills that we got in this project. We managed to go to Kamodanga Fish Farm in Machakos for fish training. We went 2 members, and then we went 8 members in Syokimau. We went to see what people are doing. And when we come back, we started also to build what they taught us. And we saw at least, the impact of it. For example, we sold, last time we sold 3,000 fingerlings to the World Food Program. They are supporting women in Kalobe to those fish farms. Now they came to us to buy the fingerlings, 3,000 fingerlings. Now we sell each fingerlings at the price of 25 Kenyan shillings. We got some money, and this money we tried to divide among the members. There were only 10. All of them were happy, even even when you give some money task, you will do that task knowing I received something from this project. So it has positive outputs. Sometimes also there are sometimes we get lost. We get lost. We can, when we put fish in the pond, we used to have a target saying, okay, this amount of fish we put here at the end of 6 months, you're going to receive this. But it can wait some time. When you are waiting for that, you come and you get less than what you're expecting. Now things become very challenging. But at least because we have different projects where we have this market wise, we use product from Lake Turkana and again to sell to the community, at least you assist the community in the other way. So it has positive outputs, and that's why there is a big number of youth which are just in our waiting list. They want to join us, but we don't know how we are going to support all that big number of people. But hopefully, maybe as long as we are working, we will make it. Because no one will come to work, to volunteer. All of them, they are just coming because they see there are some advantages. But the more we are many, the more so the amount of money will also decrease sometime at some point. Unless if we have many ponds, unless if we come with system that will assist us to produce a lot, yeah.
So it sounds like for the future of the club, there is certainly, without a doubt, a lot of demand there, and that's not really surprising. But now it's a question of how you can grow to meet that. So maybe on that theme, how can our listeners support Vijana Twaweza Club or similar initiatives in other refugee camps elsewhere?
A very good question. First of all, we have created our website page, and maybe after this meeting, I will try to show you. We have also a LinkedIn page. We have a Facebook page. Though on LinkedIn, especially Facebook page, we are not much active, but it's something that you are talking about. So we sent two people to be, to get again good training in digital, skills, so that at least we are able really to manage our accounts very well. But something very important, what we have realized, our group, and it is a system that we are really hoping to implement, is that, doing fish farming in ponds, it's okay, but it is very challenging because you produce a lot of number of fish. While we have a very big and high demand of fish in the market, every time, at least every day, I can receive me, and also maybe other members, I don't know how much they receive, but for me, I can receive at least 5 calls from different people asking if they can get fish. We are not able to produce regularly. We are not able to produce fish, to harvest fish each month. Once we stock the ponds, we have to wait at least maybe 9-8 months for us to harvest, because we are doing pond farming. And with pond farming, there's a lot of issues. There are issues to do with oxygen, where you don't control oxygen. There are issues to do with temperature. You don't control temperature. So when the temperature go down, the fish will not die, unless if it's go very down. But if it just go a little bit down, because, okay, let's say in fish you need a temperature from 24 degrees to 30. And Kakuma Refugee Camp is a very good place where you can do fish farming because it's very hot. But sometimes during the night time, the temperature will go down. When the temperature will go down, your fish will not go. When there's issues of oxygen, water quality, so all those things, the fish will not go. So instead of they go the way they should go, maybe each day they should get at least some grams each day, some grams each day. For you, they will be delaying because of issues of water quality and all those things. That's why we went to Machakos. We went there, we saw they are doing another system called recirculating aquaculture system. We went in Siokima, we saw a guy who is a non-professional in fish farming, but he's doing that system, the recirculating aquaculture system, in that place where we can produce 224 fish. He's producing 4,000 fish. Well, you see, there is a big demand of fish in the market. So when we do this 224, it's just maybe, let's say maybe 10 or 15 households. They'll finish all of them. while the rest now are coming, we want to fish. We have 5 ponds now, and in each pond we can only farm 224 fish. But the community need more than what we produce. So that's our plan, that's our dream, that one day we got investors, we got maybe private sectors, we got people want to invest in us so that we create our own job, at least to implement that project of recycling our culture system, which in short is called the RAS system, so that we produce a lot of fish, so that all the youth are well, so that we are also able to, to support other projects. We are able to support community work, and I think it's something that will be done because, all the youth in the group, we have that mindset. Even if you ask any from the group, he will tell you what I'm telling you after seeing what we saw in Syokimau, and it is something that can be done. It can be done because we have sun. It's something that needs solar powers. It's something with energy. We have them in Kakuma. We have already ponds. So I think that will be the great support, and it will have a big impact than what we are having now. So in our dreams, that's the plan.
Yeah, I just want to pick up on something you mentioned earlier as well. I'm conscious we don't have that long left, but I think you were speaking to the situation in Kakuma, that there is maybe not much choice in the food provisions provided by WFP. There's malnutrition, anemia, etc. And I think, you have, from a position that where you didn't have the legal possibility to do much, you still created something amazing. And I think I guess I'm curious for both, like, bigger picture, what role do you think refugee-led initiatives have in solving global food insecurity challenges? And do you think the type of learnings and projects Vijana Twaweza has successfully implemented in Kakuma could be scaled, rolled out, and implemented in other camp settings or in other arid environments globally?
Yeah, refugee-led organization, first of all, I want to congratulate all those people engaged in this, not only in Kakuma, but even outside Kakuma, because they are doing a great work. For example, when you want to work with humanitarian organizations, there are policies. For example, if they want to teach people, they have their own framework, they have their own specific target number of people, and sometimes they can't reach all the community. There are some policies which need them to work with those maybe who knows how to speak English, those who went maybe to school, But at least with refugee-led organization is that they just work with the community members, as long as you are able to understand the local language, because those many of those refugees-led organizations are led by the refugees, as the name itself. They are the refugees, the people knows their local language, so they can, attract many. Okay, let us do this, and it's very, very simple. So it is. I really appreciate them, and I really, my motivation is that it's good they continue to do it. So things are very, very challenging. Even if I'm trying to give you the positive story of Vijana Twaweza, but also we pass through a lot of negative issues that if we could not be much committed, we could not even continue as Vijana Twaweza, especially the first one of legal document. When we are asylum seeker here in Kenya, it is very challenging to do what we were doing. Because it can reach a point where you have an invitation, maybe they want to take you to Uganda to learn about what you are doing, but when you go to the government to ask for the document, they tell you are asylum seeker and you should not go. You see, it is very, very challenging. But projects like this one can also be done in other places. It can be done, and I wish to see also refugees also involved in this. For example, in Kakuma, we have already more than 5 groups doing fish farming. They came to us, we train them, and we give them fingerlings free of charge. Only the World Food Program, they wanted to promote us, but at least for the other group, we gave them free of charge. We tell them we can also start your needs. So at least we are many. When we are not harvesting, they can also harvest, and at least we support that community. So it is very challenging to start the project of fish farming, but it's also possible as long as people are committed, as long as the refugees are committed, as long as those youth are committed, they will make it.
Now, it sounds like there have been a few challenges, but you took a huge amount of initiative to build the club to exactly where it is today. So what advice would you give to anyone else who finds themselves in a similar position and is ultimately afraid to take that first step to trying something new to support their community?
For me, I will say that I can advise that person to be much committed and also to involve others in what he's doing. Because when I'm here, there are some people who are doing the work that I was supposed to do in Kakuma. So it is very smart to work with others, and it is very challenging, but you can start as we started. You just start small, and through the process you are learning. You go on YouTube, you see what people are doing, you do some research on Google, you are just learning, and make sure that you are creating some opportunity for yourself. When you see some people doing fish farming, also you also go there to learn. Yeah, so from there at least that person will do that something very smart, because there are people who can advise you but to demotivate you. For me, I got a lot of demotivation. Oh, you can't do fish farming here in Kakuma. It's very hot, it's a dry land, a lot of demotivation along the way. But at least I was just committed. Once you love what you are doing, once you love it and you feel like you can make it, then everything will be. Though we face a lot of failure, but it is good. We just believe that we will succeed. For us, it's just imagine you can order 5,000 fingerlings, and along the way, you lose almost 3,000, maybe almost 5,000. Very, very discouraging. Where even members can tell you, we should leave this project. Let's do other things.
But you kept believing in yourself. And I think that is a great message. Thank you.